Ahoy guys, and welcome back to I Like Watches. Today I'm taking a look at my second Aquatico. The first one I reviewed was their Blue Angels Pilot Watch. That was quite a while ago now, and since then they've added a lot of new watches to their collection. Each watch available in lots of different colour variations, so plenty of watches to choose from. When they contacted me recently, they offered me a larger 44mm diver, but I went back to them and said, this 39mm Dolphin is a little bit more in keeping in the size of watch that suits my average-ish sized wrist. Don't suppose you fancy sending me this one instead? And they said, of course, no problem. So today I'm going to be running through all the facts, figures, stats and specifications. I was a bit early there. Green thumbs up, red thumbs down. Lots of macro shots, little summary at the end. And of course, if you enjoy my content, guys, please don't forget to click that like button and subscribe. It really does help, and take part in my giveaways. I really am giving away a Grand Seiko. Link in the comments section to that video, and everything else will be in the video description. So the link in the video description will take you to aquaticowatch.com. It's not an affiliate link, although the watch was sent for free, which is why you will have seen the includes paid promotion icon. And the watch that I am reviewing today is the Dolphin. They offer it in 8 different colours. Yeah, this one looks nice, doesn't it, with the orange strap. This is a picture from a customer. Yeah, here are the 8 colours. Now it looks like 6 of the colours are sort of flat colours without any sort of sunburst effect on the dial. The black dial and the blue dial have a sunburst effect. That's what those pictures are showing me anyway. There's a few standout colours for me. The orange and the blue sunburst effect are my favourites. I do like the white as well, I have to say. And the baby blue is quite nice. Not overly keen on the green or that sort of beige and pink colour. And the black looks just a little bit sort of ordinary, doesn't it? As you can see, there's an NH35 in these watches, beating at 21,600 beats per hour. It hacks and hand winds. Yeah, so a solid movement to have in these watches. Now you can see the price is $300. They've offered me a discount code to pass on to you guys for 30% off. It's not an affiliate discount code or anything like that. It's literally just for you guys to use if you want to buy these watches. And you will get these watches for $210 US. That is AliExpress money. In fact, that's decent AliExpress money as well. Yeah, that's a good discount. Right, let's kick things off with a wrist roll. I think you've waited long enough. So here is the watch on my roughly average 7¼ inch-ish wrist. Really nice size, roughly 39mm in diameter. Decent weight distribution all the way around as well. Nice tapering bracelet there. It's a 300-meter diver, so it's going to be a little bit deeper and sit a little bit higher on your wrist than the average 200-meter diver, but it doesn't feel top heavy at all. I'll also give you the weight in a moment. But yeah, I've also put it on the strap that was supplied with it. I think it's a fluorine strap. And again, didn't feel too top heavy. So yeah, looking good. Right, let's now give you some dimensions. The diameter is just short of 39mm. Thickness is a very respectable 12.3mm. Case length just under 46. 20mm lug width, and the bracelet tapers down to 15.7. Now unfortunately my Diamond Selector 2 has run out of battery. I've ordered a new battery, but it hasn't arrived in time for me to test the crystal. But according to their website, it is a flat piece of sapphire crystal, and there is some blue internal AR coating. And on the supplied bracelet set up for my 7¼ inch-ish wrist, it now weighs, wow, 125 grams. Now if you go on their website and look at this watch, you'll see many of the specifications broken down to the point where they even tell you what material is used in grommets and O-rings, which is really quite impressive. You can tell that website has been set up by watch enthusiasts and people who are expecting their watches to sell to watch enthusiasts, the sort of people that want to know that the case, the bezel, the case back, the crown and the bracelet, the clasp, all these things are made of 316L stainless steel. Even the bezel insert, look, is brushed steel. Yeah, they're not my favourite. I do prefer ceramic inserts, but it is a good looking watch. I've already mentioned it. This watch has 300 meters of water resistance. There it is. Look, you have a screw down case back and a screw down crown. A mermaid riding a dolphin with some specifications on the case back. That's pretty cool. You've got a dolphin logo on the crown. Look, the case has a mix of brushed and polished finishing, more polishing than I would have expected, but it seems to be nicely done. The outside of the bezel seems to also be polished. Obviously the insert is circular brushed. The bracelet is fully brushed underneath the sides and the top surface, a fairly standard tapering 3-link bracelet. A little bit more jangle on it than I would have expected, but it doesn't feel cheap. And a little bit of movement like that really does aid with comfort. The clasp has milled inner elements, no double pushers, it's just a sort of friction based system with this sort of little latch here. So yeah, milled inner elements. The outer shell and the safety latch definitely pressed. They've got a slightly cheap feel to them. It doesn't feel like a cheap clasp, it's just the outer shell is definitely pressed. You can just tell it is. But it's signed. I've already mentioned it, no double pushers, but you do have the safety latch. And I should also mention solid end links, solid links, and it is a pin and collar system for the links. Obviously, it's got a diver's bezel, 120 click unidirectional. Let's have a listen. Oh, it's nice. I remember from the unboxing actually, the bezel action is nice. The clicks are super crisp. The resistance is, I think, a little bit higher than average. The outside of the bezel feels quite smooth. These grooves seem to be sort of rounded off. I guess that happens because the outside of that bezel is polished. So the polishing process does tend to smoothen off edges. Smooth off edges? Smooth off edges is what I meant to say. But I do feel like I can grip it enough to turn it. Let's check out the alignment. I think it's pretty good. You have to go one pass. There is a little bit of back play look, but it will settle above the 12, that triangle look. So yeah, good alignment. And the dial alignment seems good as well. So yeah, nice. Well, let me zoom in a little bit so I can show you the dial. It's a little bit one-dimensional. The Lume is printed on the dial and it doesn't seem to be particularly high. I'll show you a Lume shot in a moment. And the white dial seems to be a fairly sort of flat, almost paper looking dial. Nice print though, Aquatico automatic under the 12, Dolphin 1000 feet 300m above the 6. You've got a date window, it seems nicely finished. It's framed, yeah, I mean it looks simple enough and it does the job, doesn't it? Right, and there is the Lume in all its glory. I've just given it a boost with the UV torch. The hands look particularly impressive, don't they? With the Lume printed directly on the dial, I'm not expecting it to last as well as many other divers, but it still looks pretty impressive. Nice blue glow. Right, let me now run through what I consider to be the strengths of this watch, the reasons why you might be tempted to pick it up. Firstly, I think it looks pretty good. Nicely proportioned, good size, a fairly sort of standard, traditional looking dive watch. You know, nothing too outrageous about it, is there? It's not a strong homage of a particular watch. So yeah, proportions are good, dimensions are good, it wears nicely, and it looks, yeah, it looks good. I think the build quality is pretty impressive, certainly when you consider the price. This is, well, decent AliExpress money. Many divers on AliExpress with similar specifications are costing, well, $250 odd now. So to be able to pick this watch up for $210, I think the build quality is more than adequate for sure. It has a nice bezel action, and the Lume on the hands at least seems to be pretty decent. The alignment is also perfect throughout the watch. All too often we see dive watches like this with misaligned bezel inserts, but not on this occasion. Are you watching, Seiko? Lots of colour options as well, and it comes in a very nice wooden box with an alternative strap. So yeah, the overall package does seem particularly good and good value as well. As with all watches, there are a couple of weaknesses. The ones I want to highlight, well, firstly, the outer shell and that safety latch just have a slightly cheap feel to them. They don't feel bad or loose or rattly. You can just tell they're made of, I think, slightly thinner steel than average, but it does the job, and yeah, it looks nice enough. And when you consider the price, especially with that discount, I don't think you can expect any more. The dials, with the Lume being printed on the dials and it being quite flat, the dials do have a slightly one-dimensional look to them. And with the Lume being, well, printed fairly flat, I suspect it's not going to last quite as well as the hands. I will include this watch in a Lume longevity test at some point in the future, but yeah, I strongly suspect that the Lume is just going to be slightly below average. But yeah, I'll show this watch again in that test in the future on I Like Watches too, and we'll know a little bit more then. But I have to say, including that discount, a Microbrand diver 300 meters with these specifications for $210. That's got to be one of the cheapest 300 meter Microbrand divers you're likely to see. Yeah, that seems incredible. So I'm definitely going to jump back onto their website, have a look at some of their other watches, and reach out to them and say, well, maybe I will review that 44mm diver, because I got to say, this one has impressed me. I think it looks good, it's comfortable. Yeah, I mean, it's just in that sweet spot, and only 125 grams for a 300 meter diver. That's quite incredible, isn't it? Right, guys, that's it from me, but please do let me know what you think of this watch and the review in the comments section. Your reviews aren't just entertaining for me and others to read, they really are useful for people considering buying these watches. It's always useful to have second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth opinions. So I look forward to reading your comments, guys, and please hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoy my content. See you guys.